All right, guys, we all set to start. Few seconds more. Let me start. All right, guys, how are you today? Everyone doing great today?
Yes, sir. Good.
You guys able to see me? You able to see me, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, good, good. Thank you so much for joining the session. All right, so I can see a lot of people join today meeting. So we are excited to start this Palo Alto Firewalls session. So before I start, anyone have anything in your mind you want to discuss with me? Any questions, any query, or we are good to start today's sessions? All right, so let's start. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all in the Gwinnett family. And today we are going to start a very new firewall sessions. And that firewall session is going to base on the next generation firewall engineer course. The old certification has been completely ended from the industry, and new certification has been introduced by the Palo Alto Firewall, and the certification name is next generation firewall engineer certified, and this kind of badge you're going to get. So the course is going to align as per the new certification program, where you're going to get everything in detail about the official Palo Alto Firewall engineer program, that is the next generation firewall engineer. All right. So in case of any query, any question, if you guys feel like you want to talk to me, raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and ask any query with me, so I can just try to answer that query as well. And again,
One query here.
yes,
Uh,
Hemant, tell me.
so is there any change technology wise uh,
Yes,
from
yes,
next
yes, yes.
generation and yeah.
I will explain in detail how earlier the certification program was, and how the course content was, and how the new program is there, and how the new course content is going to be happen. Okay. So it's not changed too much, right? It's more and less similar, but old program having the more content, new program having a less content, but some new things they have added, like as per the AI and all automations. So that I will discuss later on how it is going to happen. And the certification has been completely changed for the Palo Alto point of view. Means earlier we have the different certification, but now we have the completely different certification program. You guys are going to become now Palo Alto next generation firewall engineer. Okay, this is the new certification. So there is no PCNSA, there is no PCNSE. I'll talk later on, but yes, once again, welcome you all. And Gwinnett would like to introduce this new Palo Alto session where I'm going to discuss everything in detail. All right, so let's start the session about the Gwinnett. Right, you guys are most of guys are aware about that. Gwinnett is one of the leading training and IT consulting company. It's a private limited company, and we are based in the Noida. And we are providing the trainings on the different technology like networking, SD-WAN, cyber security, cloud networking, DevOps, and almost globally, if you just see, like almost 75,000 learner completed in last 4 to 5 years the training program with us. So people are a lot of benefited by us, and they are placed in the globally in different company, not only India. They are placed in the US, UK, like Dubai, like Gulf countries, across any locations you name the like country, might we are going to find the learner from the Gwinnett. So we are across the country, across the globe, our students are present, and we have the very good community on the YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, where you're going to find that, right, how Goodnet is going to be provide the content. So daily basis you're going to get a lot of content, and you're going to be get a lot of value additions, which is going to transform your career. So basically the training is completely designed in such way where we have the in-house data centers. So whatever the content you are going to get from here, that is going to be completely lab based and lab oriented content. Means anything where you are just learning theoretically, you are going to get the labs, and labs are going to be available for the 24 into 7. So you don't have to worry about the lab, right? So lab are 24 into 7. It's not like 4 hour window you're going to get for the lab, or 6 hour window on daily basis, or 8 hour window. No, we are offering 24 into 7 lab access uninterrupted. Means anytime, whatever shift time you have, from where you are, you just require the internet access, and after that you can just access our labs, and that's going to be very reliable because we have the in-house, and that is personally monitored by me. That's entire labs, and I know how the performance is going to happen. If any issues happen regarding lab performance, definitely at the goodwill of gesture, we are going to extend your labs if our fault is there. But if you are having any other issues, definitely in class I will help you to just justify like how it is going to be corrected. Also, lab support team is going to be there, which is going to help you in terms of any kind of the issues. But yes, lab is very important thing for us, and that is going to be always available, right? And the training expertise, if I talk about, right, means how much like we add the value. Let's talk about me myself, Pankaj Kumar, right? Might be you guys heard about me. I work for the different company in last 16 years. Like I started my career with the Jetty Telecommunication, work for Tech Mahindra I work with Tech Mahindra, I work with SCL two times, right, and very senior role. I work with BT two times with a very senior role, and last company where I am working, that is Rack Space Technology. That is also like of the leading of the global teams where they are responsible for the design, implementations, and also consulting for the different customers. So I have the global idea how the network can be designed, not only for the L1, L2 level support, because under me almost 40-30 people's work globally, not only India reportings. They work for the Singapore location, they work for the UK location, they work for the Hong Kong locations, Malaysia locations, a lot of country where people directly work under me, and we together design the data centers. We together design the WAN technology. We together as a team where I lead the team, and they are very mindful people, right? And trust me, they are the very passionate L3 L4 engineers and the tech leads. They design very good cloud solution like Zscaler, Prisma Access, and also if you are talking about the firewall solution, deploying the Palo Alto FortiGate. And last major milestone where I lead the 6,000 plus firewall migrations from ASA to the Palo Alto. So that was the great exposure. So I will try to share my all those exposure which I have from the real industry. So you guys have to get a lot of insight from my side. So that is all about my journey, and you guys can find me on the LinkedIn as well. And I will just if you have any query, you can just reach out to me. Guys, please mute yourself. Narayan, if you have any query, please ask me, or just mute yourself. So that is about me, where I have the multi-domain expertise and a lot of certification. You name the certification, I have the certifications. So you don't have to worry about that. And feel free to ask any questions. Don't hesitate. If you're stuck in your cloud solutions, you can ask the question, because I'm also Azure and Alibaba certified trainer. Okay. And like I am the one from the first time in British Telecom where the project was there, and there was a very first cloud, that was Alibaba, and it was very difficult because no resources available on the internet, but somehow we able to crack and deploy the project. So holistic, like if I talk about like all technology, like about Zscaler, about the Prisma Access, about the cloud, the SD-WAN, how they all are ecosystem integrated together, and how it is going to give the very realistic way agile solution for the customer, that I have the expertise, and probably you guys are going to be get from my side if you have any query. All right. So why I basically choose this career for the corporate training and the training you guys kind of the people, because when I working in my company and still I'm giving the consulting for the different organizations, I realize like a lot of people who have the lot of question in their mind, because I was doing a lot of training for the L1, L2, and L3 on the companies. The people have like always a struggle for the basic fundamentals, like the static routing, how it is going to happen, dynamic routing, how it is going to happen, how basically they are going to be configured the routing in the Palo Alto firewall, how the traffic is going to be reach on the internet, how kind of the policy is going to be there, how kind of the like you are going to apply the basically different NAT rules, how you're going to apply the redistribution between the BGP to OSPF, OSPF to BGP, static route redistribution, connected route redistributions. So those concepts are always I found weak for the engineers. So I try to upgrade themselves, and the same thing I'm doing, but just only in the structured way nowadays, because I'm just going to follow the curriculum, because you have to be certified engineer, and if you want to become a certified engineer, you have to learn in the structured way, not like just understand the NAT policy, security policy, and your job is done for the day-to-day operations like SOC operation, NOC operations. No, if you want to become a skilled engineer, if you want to become the certified engineer, major companies international and national, even for the India base or other country base, they are looking for the certified engineer. They have the JD requirement because they have wanted to like use your skills to give the real-time consulting use case based scenario for the different customer. Might be the customer is looking for the global product, might be you are working in the shared infrastructures. In the shared infrastructure, you're supporting the multiple customers. Some customers are just having the basic NAT requirement, policy requirement, routing requirement, but other customers might be going to require the global product. This might be going to require for the any VPN solutions, customized VPN solutions. Some are going to require the AD solutions. So if you don't have the structured way of the course curriculum understanding, probably you are not going to be, give that particular kind of solution to the customer. So because of that, this is very important. You complete your learning, whatever you are doing, in a structured way, not in unstructured way. So you can stay in industry for very long period of time. I hope it is clear to everyone. I can see somebody asking something. So let me see. Ahmed is saying, yeah, definitely. You are going to get an interview question and all, right? Definitely you are going to get. I'll cover that. All right. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, right? Don't hesitate. And hold on, guys. Just 1 second. All right. So what else, guys, right? So the next step we have to understand a lot of things I talk about me. Now let's understand how this today agenda is going to be happen. Basically, I will talk about the introduction of network security, why you should learn a Palo Alto Firewall, why not FortiGate Firewall, why not Checkpoint Firewall, why not Cisco SA Firewall, Suppose Firewall, and other vendor firewalls. Course roadmap and structured, right? Who can join, what is the prerequisite is going to happen, and after completion of this particular course, what kind of job offer you are going to get from market. That also I'm going to get, and also the course module discussion, and if you have any question regarding the courses, module, interview, and lab, that also going to be covered. So everything about that Palo Alto, everything about your queries, and what is the trending in the market, how the AI is impacting the network security engineer, that also we are going to discuss about that. Being a network security engineer, what kind of the knowledge is going to be required from your side to just transform or sustain in the market for the new requirement for digital transformations. All right. Any question till here? Because I speak almost 14-15 minutes. If any question, please feel free to ask, guys. Even you want to open your camera, you can open that. All good? Everyone? No questions? No comments? Great. Thank you so much, guys. If anyone have language issues, right? बता सकते हो. I can speak in Hindi, so there is no problem. If you have any question, you want to speak in Hindi, आप लोग discuss कर सकते हो, because this is an open session. So generally I try to go in English so I can cover the most of the audience. But once we have the close session after 1 or 2 sessions, definitely we'll have the as per the you guys means as per the audience, like what they want to learn, how they want to learn. So I completely transform myself in that language. So language is not going to be barrier. You don't think my like I'm not able to understand English or Hindi. So this session is going to might be the English, but further we'll see how audience is going to say. If you have any question in Hindi or English, please ask. Yes, Narayan, please go ahead. Ask your question.
Hey, hi Pankaj. I'm not sure whether this is a correct question for now.
Yeah, please ask.
So this Palo Alto network firewall. So this is like a domain specific into the network side, right?
All right.
So yeah. So I should have asked this question in a who can join sections, but I can't hold it
No
myself.
problem. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So basically, I'm into the security domain. I'm a senior cloud consultant. So how whether is it really necessary for me to have this specific domain expertise? Because my interest is not into the network security only. I look after the overall cloud security. So
Okay.
how it will help me actually?
Actually, this is a very good question, because I can correlate your sense where you are talking about, because other people might be not correlate. But how this security is very useful for the very product specific to general domain if you're working in the network security and cloud security. So first you have to understand, definitely I'll discuss later on, but let me quickly cover your questions. Security is the one thing that is a mandatory, like every domain, whether you are the networking, whether it is a network security, cloud security, and cyber security. Even you are in the home, security is mandatory. Even you are using the mobile, its security is mandatory. Your laptop, security is mandatory. Why? The home security is going to physical security, office security is going to physical security, but any digital transmission means any digital transition you are going to do that. You require the digital security, and for that you must have to know how security is going to be implemented. These vendors means we are talking about the vendors. Hold on. These vendors might be going to be like Palo Alto, FortiGate, Checkpoint. Lot of vendors are there. Might be going to get suppose vendor, right? You are going to get suppose vendor. You are going to get Cisco vendor, Cisco ASA firewall. You are going to get Sonic Wall firewall. There are a lot of firewalls. Even for the Azure, if you are talking about, there are inbuilt security feature available in the Azure cloud. That is a cloud security. AWS also coming as a inbuilt security. But one concept is going to remain same. Using security in the cloud, using security in your network security based on these firewalls, their fundamentals are going to be same. You can think in this way. If I are using a drive means I want to become a driver for any car, so I want to drive the Mercedes, I want to drive the Audi, I want to drive the BMW, or might be the Hyundai car, or might be any Maruti Suzuki car. The basic driving principle is going to be same. Basic car fundamental is going to be same. Means they require the four tires, they require some kind of the steering, some kind of the horn, and you should know how to do the left and right when you're driving. But what going to make a difference? Their features, how they are going to be used, right? There different kind of the key features which is going to give them more luxury, more comfortable, less luxury, less comfortable, more security, less security, and the cost is going to happen. So if you do not have the firewall knowledge, right? If you do not have the firewall knowledge, if you are going to work in any industry, you do not have the right security knowledge. So whether you are going to learn the FortiGate, Checkpoint, Palo Alto, or Cisco, the principle of the security is going to be same. Only difference is going to be happen the way of doing the configurations. Let's suppose you're working on the Cisco routers, you're working on the Juniper router. Both are the router, right? You all are agree both are the router, but Cisco router configuration is going to be different. Cisco CLI is going to be different, and Juniper CLI is going to be different. Both are router. This is a Cisco and Juniper. The CLI is going to be different. But if you are running the BGP here, right? If you are running the BGP here, both function is going to be same. Means BGP attribute, whatever is going to work, and here, the both are going to be same. So in short, what I say, the cloud engineer, even you are working the cloud, you should have the good firewall knowledge. If you don't have the firewall knowledge, you have to learn firewall section in the cloud part as well. Then you can do the right URL filtering, right application filtering, right IP based blocking, right port based blocking, right content filtering. Or in case of you are going to deploy this Palo Alto Palo Alto firewall in the Azure and AWS, you should use the same CLI, same GUI, even the cloud as well. Because Azure AWS have the feature you can deploy this firewall directly as a virtual instance in their cloud infrastructure. So same thing you have to utilize. If you don't know the Palo Alto firewall, if you don't know the Checkpoint firewall, FortiGate firewall, or Cisco firewall, probably being a cloud engineer, you are going to be always a struggle. So my key takeaway, whatever you're doing the network consulting, your network architect, cloud security architect, two things should be very strong. First is your networking should be very strong. Without networking, you cannot sustain there. If I talk about the networking, that is the basic CCNA level of knowledge must be going to required. Means how to configure the VLANs, right? It is a very important how to configure the VLANs. Always in cloud, it is going to be used. What happened? VLAN, you know how, sorry, routing is going to be happen, like static routing, dynamic routing. Like you talk about the not RIP, you just have to use the OSPF, at least static and BGP. Three things is going to be required. It's a mandatory, guys. And along with that, how the firewall policy is going to work, how the NAT pat is going to work, how my basically URL filtering is going to work, how the application filtering, even the cloud firewall is also going to do the same thing. So I suggest for the every engineer, you are in any domain, even you are a cybersecurity engineer, if you do not have the basic networking fundamentals, basic security fundamentals, you always going to struggle. Okay, makes sense? Who asked this question? I forgot the name. If any follow-up question, please let me know. Else, I'll follow the module. Narayan, you agree or you have any different question in your mind?
No, thanks, Pankaj. I got to know actually what I'm
Thank you
going to
so
do.
much, Narayan.
So,
All right.
just was one follow-up question, Pankaj, shortly. So, before starting this firewall training, any of this Palo Alto or anything, does anyone require to have any prerequisite
Yes,
knowledge
I'm
on?
coming. I'm coming. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
on that. Wait for a while. So guys, why we should learn the Palo Alto firewall or any firewall, not Palo Alto firewall? The question is why you should learn the firewalls. So as I mentioned, if you are going to do any digital communications, security is must. Without security, if you are going to do any kind of the communication, it is going to be very problematic for you. You can think in this way: you're building a very good house and you're not putting a lock inside of the house. You're putting a lot of expensive gadget in your house, interior in your house, lot of kind of the other stuff in your house, but you're not putting lock in your house. What is going to happen? You're sleeping in night, somebody is going to come from outside and take valuable out from your house. What you will do? You cannot do anything. So that's why when you build any house, any flat, any building, you must maintain the security, and not one layer security. You do multiple layer of security. What you can do? You do the lock based security. Door, first you apply the door, then you apply the lock, then you apply the CCTV camera, and sometime also you need to apply the security guard as well, who's going to physically available around your house. Many of the people who is using the security guard as well. So three layer of security put in your house, so it is going to protect your network. So same thing, why its firewall is going to be important? Because whatever communication you're doing on the internet, let's suppose this is the user, right? This is the one of the user sitting in office. This is your office. This is your branch office. Here user is sitting connected with a switch, and now he is trying to talk to internet. This is the internet ISP. If any communication is going in the plane from this user to the internet, what is going to be happen? It's a plain communications. There is no barrier. Means any hacker sitting on the internet who want to hack your PC. I'm giving a very small example, smallest example of the digital communications. It is going to hack your PC and you cannot do anything because you not have any barrier who can enter in my network. Means you not have any protections from where these people are going to become in my network. Means you not have any kind of the lock, you not have any kind of CCTV, you not have any kind of security guard. So any digital transmission you're doing here from source to destination, destination to source, it is going to be get problematic for your company, your network, your houses, which is going to be danger for you. Do you guys agree with me? So what happen when offices going to build this kind of the offices are going to build? Let's suppose I'm going to build any office. Let me get one of the blank page, guys. Okay, so it is going to be very good for drawing. So let's suppose this is my office. This is my office. In office, I have the lot of client. This is the my PC A. This is my PC B. This is my PC C. They are typically connected with the switch. They all connected with the switch. This switch is going to connect with the router. Let's suppose this is the one of the router, and then router is going to connect with the internet. Now in this communication, let's suppose this PC have the one of the IP address 10.10.10.10/24. This want to talk to this internet. Let's suppose this want to talk to the google.com. What is going to happen? The first step, this PC have the gateway IP address. This is the IP and the gateway. Gateway might be going to happen 10.10.10.1. So your packet is going to be destined to your router, because generally this is going to be act as a layer 2. So your packet is going to be there from this location to the, let's suppose use different color. It is going to be this router. Router having the full routing. that is having a routing table. This routing table will decide how to send the packet to the internet. But this is a plain layer 2 and layer 3 based communication. Layer 2 and layer 3 based communication. What is a layer 2? Layer 2 basically happen the MAC based communication. Layer 3 is going to happen with the IP address based communication. In both of the scenario, like my packet is going to talk layer 2, but when it is going to the layer 3, it is going to take IP and that is going to be on internet. But what is the problem here? There is no problem. You can reach the internet, but problem is cyber security, cyber criminals, hackers. They are your problems because you make a home without any security. This is the problem. Means you are sending the plain traffic from source to destination. So any hacker sitting on the internet, there is a Mr. Hacker. He want to snip your packet on the internet and want to enter your network. Absolutely possible you can do that because you sending the plain layer 2 layer 3 packets without any encryption, without any security, without any barrier. So anyone can enter and understand what source, what destination is coming, and based on that it's going to be create a problem for you. That is the first thing. Second thing, you can download any google.com any file, but mistaken suppose you download the virus file. You don't know, might be there is the virus file, there is a vulnerability, there might be the DOS attack is going to be happen from the outside, there is anti-spying activity is going to happen, there is some kind of the bad URL, bad kind of the website you're going to open that is going to harm your computer. So there is no barrier. Router is not going to understand. Router only understand layer 2, layer 3 and some layer 4 packets. They not understand what application you are accessing. That is a layer 7. They not understand content, what data you are receiving from the internet. That they not understand what URL you are getting from the internet. So the 90% problem is going to happen from the URL and from the content. 90% problem means application is going to be a problem for you, content is going to create a problem for you, and the URL, because all phishing attacks, whatever the phishing attack you are doing from the internet, those phishing attacks basically come as a content, and router switches never know. So definitely the cyber attack is going to be happen, phishing mail is going to come in your company, no filtering is going to happen, cyber attack is going to happen, you are going to be compromised. So who is going to save? That's the firewall come in a picture. Now you guys tell me, firewall work on which layer? That's question for the audience. Anyone? Firewall work on which layer? Anyone can tell me? It's layer 2 device, layer 3 device, layer 4
Layer
device,
4.
layer 7?
L4, layer 4.
Okay, let me add one more slide here. So I got an answer, firewall work on the layer 4. Okay, that is known as the transport layer. Any other guys? Which might be it is going to ask in the interview, which layer firewall is going to work? Come on guys, tell me something. बोलो यार, कुछ तो बताओ. इंटरव्यू कैसे क्लियर करोगे आप लोग?
I think it works on layer 3, layer 4, and layer 7 all.
Okay. What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Siraj.
Siraj. Okay. Siraj mentioned that firewall is going to work layer 3, layer 4,
and layer 7 also.
layer 7. Okay.
That is next generation firewalls.
Okay. That's who told that?
Karthik.
Karthik. Okay. Very good. I like that answers. You guys are giving me like a lot of curiosity in other audience. Any other audience want to say? Now the question coming, what is the next generation firewall? Because I heard this very first time in this class. I even never talk about this, okay? But when I start my slide, there was a term next generation firewall engineer. Okay, so let me like tell about this story. If I talk about the firewalls, right? Firewall is going to be two type of firewall. You guys can make a note. The firewall is going to divide in any vendor. You just not focus on the Palo Alto. You take a name, like the first type device is like which is known as the old firewall. which is known as the legacy firewall, right? The second firewall we have as a new firewall, which is known as the next gen firewall. Okay, so we have the two type of firewall. Now this firewall is no more in the industry. Finish. Means even Cisco was using this firewall, but it is all end of life. Means you are not going to find any firewall which is the old firewall, legacy firewall. Why? This firewall can only have the capability, they can do the inspection. Firewall doesn't have any kind of the layer. It's not work on the layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. It's not like only specific layer. If I talk about the old firewall, these work on the layer 2, layer 3 and layer 4. If someone is saying layer 4 firewall, that means these two layers also going to be added here. Means it can do your MAC filtering, it can do your IP filtering, and that you can do your port based filtering. This is the port layer 4. This is going to be layer 2, this is going to be layer 3, and this is going to be layer 4. So this is the old firewall which is going to work on these three layer. But if I talk about the next generation firewall, you guys told me it is going to work on the layer 2. It is going to work on the layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7. But it's not only going to work on the layer 2, layer 3, layer 4 and layer 7. It's also work on your data, actual content. It's also work on your URL filtering. It's also work on your device inspections. I will tell you, device ID base. It's also work AD base integration and some other things also we have. So this is the power of next generation firewall. Means old firewall only work on these three inspection. Means they have the capability, if any IP based attack is going to happen, they can protect. Any port number based attack is going to happen, they can protect. Any MAC based attack is going to happen, they can filter. But they cannot filter if I want to allow Facebook, I want to deny Facebook, I want to allow Instagram, I want to block Instagram, WhatsApp, I want to go with the Teams application, Drive applications, Box application, Workday application, Salesforce application, lot of applications we have. If I really want to block those, this firewall is not going to be capable. So if you want to make them capable, you have to use the next generation firewall. These firewalls are actual savior for the industry nowadays. Trust me, because they have the capability, not only the IP, they can do filtering on the applications, they can do filtering on your content. Even you're sending any PDF file and that file written as a confidential word, entire 1000 PDF file. Trust me, I'll show in the lab how it is going to happen. Trust me, I will show in the lab, note it down. If your 1000 PDF file written in the, and you have the any letter, let's suppose Pankaj's name is written, and I say, if any PDF is going and word is Pankaj, you should block it. Firewall is going to block. That is a data prevention technique available in the Palo Alto firewalls and even the FortiGate firewall. Yes, Hemant, please ask your question. Hemant, you raise your hand, man.
Thank you. So, just one query regarding when we have the legacy firewalls, and you said in next generation firewall, we are able to URL based filtering or Facebook, we can block some kind of a specific application. So, in legacy time, what was the concept to block them?
They have the modules they use, IDS module, IPS modules, right? They have the
Oh, okay.
UTM module. You have to integrate to just make these all feature available, okay?
Yeah,
But
got it.
now
Thank
these
you.
all coming integrated with the firewalls. You don't have to buy the module and all. Make sense, Hemant?
Yeah, sure. Thank
All
you.
right. So any content you want to filter, any URL, let's suppose you're accessing the URL. There are URL like might be gambling category of URL. I'll show you. There you are a dating app URL. You have the any pornography URL. You have the any criminal activity based URL, tobacco based URL, sports based URL, Naukri.com URL, job search basically. This can filter and apply. Device ID means you want my certain type of device should be allowed from my network. Firewall can understand those devices. Means I want my Mac device only can communicate. For certain application, you can do that. I want my Lenovo platform, Dell platform can talk to certain applications. Even not on a device, even device based OS, whether it's running the Mac OS, Windows, not only the Windows, even the version, Windows 11, Windows 10, these all possibility we have. And I'll show in the lab how it is going to happen. And the AD integration, you forgot about the IP. If you just apply the policy based on the user ID, let's suppose in class we have the almost 27 people. I want to create, you get any IP, I don't care. But if your name is going to match based on the ID, I want to allow certain application. Let's suppose out of 30 people, 10 people I want to make, you should only access, let's suppose 10 people are going to become HR. You should access the like Naukri.com. In regard of the what type you going to get, you are going to access the Naukri.com. 10 people I am going to say you belong to social media marketing team, sales and marketing team. You should access the Instagram page. You should access the Meta means Facebook page. You can do that. And you cannot access the Naukri.com because I do not allow the Naukri. If there is IT people, I can say you can just access the Cisco Palo Alto website. You can do that also. So this is how next generation firewall is going to work, and this is the how you have to fit the firewall in between. In previous diagram, in somewhere before router and after router, generally we instead of the router we can put the firewall here. This firewall is going to act as a digital barrier. Anyone going out, anyone coming in, he will first stop you. Stop. Prove me your identity. If you fail to prove your identity, it will not allow to go inside of the network. If you fail to prove your identity, it will not allow to go outside the internet. So this is how it is going to be happen. Firewall is going to act as a digital barrier who have the responsibility to make sure authorized user is going to out, right policy it is going to hit, right kind of the application is going to access, no any lateral movement, any virus, any vulnerability attack is going to happen, no hacker is authorized to go inside of the company. So I'll do deep dive what is the firewall in detail. But if I go in my again previous slide, so why we should learn the firewall. If you are going to learn the firewalls, this is the going to act as your first line of defense for the any organization for any network. Means if you are not going to align the firewalls, your network is going to plain, no security is going to be there. Every enterprise with the next generation firewall, same thing we talk about, because legacy is no more, to secure their infrastructures. It is a very important. High global demand for the firewall engineer and SOC analysis. If you have the firewall engineer, trust me guys, I can show in the live on the Naukri.com after sharing my CV. Not CV, that Naukri.com on my browser. You are going to get n number of jobs are available, but still companies are hunting for the right engineers. And trust me, right engineers are not available in a market. If you really have the good Palo Alto skill set, good 40 skill set, you're going to get easily 30 lakh, 40 lakh CTC in the market. Just two firewalls and give you 30 lakh, 40 lakhs if you have the right knowledge, right experience. I'm not going to say if you have the 5 lakh LPF CTC, then you're suddenly going to get it. Eventually, it required experience and time. But if you have 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, I'm assuming most of the guys are experienced people 8, 7, 15. And if you are going to search job in the market, if you have the right firewall knowledge, 30, 25, 15, these are the easy gate CTC in the market. Any company, you go for the Wipro, go for the SCL, go for the TechM, go for the Accenture, go for the BT, go for the Orange, go for the Colt, Airtel. Any company, lot of opportunities available, and some small company also available, some US based company also available, some global remote job also available. So you can easily get most demanding firewall market, the Palo Alto and the FortiGate. These are the one of the leader in the market and very high demand available. So learning firewall technology, direct path for your boosting the career and getting the high paid salary from the market. That's going to take away from you for you, because if you're not going to learn this firewall, you are going to still become the legacy engineer. You're just going to be stay as a normal router switch engineer, or might be the layer 4 engineer. So nobody is going to give the very high package for you. So if you really want to get the high package, you have to invest some time, invest small money, right? Because you have to purchase the course and all, and you have to do labs, and then you have to update your CV, and then you're just going to get a good job. Okay, so if you're really committed for next 3 to 4 months, and because classes is going to be 2 months, but you have to do practice and all for next 2 months, then you can easily get this all job in the market. All right, I can see somebody asking something in chat. What model does Palo Alto have and how we select the Palo Alto? Okay, I'll talk, Ahmed, every model I'll select. Okay, so this model you see, this is the Palo Alto 850. So there are a lot of models. Initially it started Palo Alto 220 firewalls, that means different color. So 220 PA we have, right? Very small company if you want to use 220. 420 if we have the small to mid range of the company, you can use 820 also for the mid range. But if you want to get more higher version like 3000 series of firewall, right? That is a 5000 series of firewall or 7000 series of firewall. These are basically these two of a data center. And this is the like hub location, very high employee setting in a company, so you can use it. So these are the very famous firewall, 220, 420, 820, 850 also. That is a part of the 800 series of firewall. And 300 series of firewall. This 400 series also firewall come, right? Lot of 420, 450 kind of firewall is going to come. So this is firewall. I'll explain which firewall model is going to use where and what is the role and responsibility for that. Okay. So I'll explain these all. Just wait for a while. Later I'll explain everything in very detail. So in short, industry leader Palo Alto, FortiGate, like these are the firewalls. Checkpoint F5 is a load balancer, Cisco ASA. So these are going to be get very good recognition in the market if you have the skill set. Now coming back to the next, why choose the Palo Alto firewall? Because Palo Alto firewall is the industry leader. I talk. There is two firewall, and if you are just planning to choose the firewall, the Palo Alto firewall is one industry leader, and another industry leader is going to be your FortiGate firewall. I'm not going to talk this. Myself, Pankaj, is not talking this. This is just given by the research of the Gartner Magic. You just go on the internet and search about it. I will show you also. Gartner Magic is basically one of the open research like organizations who basically tell which firewall is going to best in the market based on the feature and all. So they say, right, Palo Alto and FortiGate, sometime Palo Alto is going to leader of the market, sometime FortiGate is going to leader of the market. But if you are planning to upgrade both of the skill set in your CV, that is going to be game changer for you. Okay. And in Palo Alto, in short, I'm saying definitely I'll talk about in very detail how the course structure, course content is going to happen. But in short, it's going to be market leader solutions used by 90% Fortune 500 company, means across the globe, right? This Palo Alto having the very high demand. If they have the high demand, high firewall is available in the market, then high engineer demand is going to be in the market. They basically come with the next generation firewall feature. I talk only next generation, not legacy. Like application identification, content identification, they talk about the user identification, they talk about the threat prevention, URL filtering, they talk about the global protect and VPN. So these are the unique feature available, and then also come with the SP3 architecture. So these all features are going to become in the Palo Alto firewall. So if you really want to learn these all skills, if you really want to upgrade, you have to learn this Palo Alto firewall, and that is going to be very important for your future career, because this is the future. Now let's talk about the certification. I'll take the question after that. If I talk about certification, these two certifications are dead, not available in the market. PCNSA and PCNSE, no more. I was the PCNSA and PCNSE certified, but now I am also non-certified trainer, okay, because this has been expired. So I have to upgrade this on myself also. Palo Alto next generation firewall engineer. So if you want to learn and you want to earn the badge of the Palo Alto firewall, you have to earn this badge. This is known as the Palo Alto next generation firewall engineer certified. This kind of the badge you're going to get. And this certificate is very important for your CV. If you are going to write nowadays, I am this engineer certified, you are going to get more opportunity, especially for global market. India market generally doesn't require the certifications. Some client have the requirement, but if you have that certificate in your CV, certificate ID, certificate detail, your CV is going to be shortlisted, and you're going to be first choice for the interview. And if you have the skills, you can crack the interview. And if you just have the certification, not have the skills, it's a useless, like kind of dustbin for you. Okay, you can just throw it, no use. So certificate is important, but more important, you should have the knowledge. Certificate is just going to give the entry for any organizations, but knowledge is going to actually give the job in the market. So you don't have to go for certificate. It's the last thing. First you go for the knowledge, and once you have the good knowledge, earn this certificate, apply in your CV, then it is going to be very good combo and you're going to get very good job in the market. Any question till here? Anyone have? Please let me know. Guys, come on.
So, Vishal sir, the validation of the certificate.
Validation is going to be unique ID going to be get okay. Validation is going to be this certification going to be valid for 2 years. Okay.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
talking about okay. Okay. So let's move next. Yes.
Pankaj, I have a question. So in Palo Alto Firewall certification, this is the first or the foundational or starting point of certificate?
There are a few more certificates available in the market, right, for the Palo Alto. Okay. Let me share my screen. I can show you. Just give me 1 second. There are few more. Let me know if you guys are able to see my screen. You guys are able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes.
Hold on, hold on. So if I go here, let me show you. Palo Alto certification roadmap. There are few certifications, okay, but that is not relevant for you. See, the cybersecurity apprentice. This is the first certification. I would not suggest go and waste your money. Network security professional, that is also the bit advanced. Being a firewall engineer, if you don't have the dream to just become a SaaS engineer, and without firewall engineer, if you are planning to become a SaaS engineer, that is also not good engineer, decision for you, or SD-WAN engineer. So this is the first thing, right? You have to learn the next generation firewall. This is the entry level. Also, you can just understand the cybersecurity practitioners and cybersecurity apprentice. These are the network security fundamentals, and these are the specialists, right? So I'm just talking about the specialist of the market, not the architect. Okay, architect is going to very like higher level of certification. You should become the SD-WAN engineer, SASE engineer, Prisma SD-WAN engineer, and Prisma Access engineer. That is going to be part of the architect. So we are talking about equal to CCNP, okay, and that is the next generation firewall engineer, and the same thing I'm talking about. There is no PCNSA, no PCNSA. So if you are talking network security, the fundamental we have that I'm not going to recommend because I'm going to cover everything in my course, and then you can directly go for this certification. It is going to save your time and save your money. Make sense, Nayan?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
तो मेरा
Sir,
था
this is Govind.
Yes, yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Sir, what is the difference between PCNCA, PCNCE, and next generation firewall engineer?
That has been old, na? This has been old now. This has been old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is it
So
same syllabus or is there any different?
no, no, the syllabus has been combined. These two syllabus were different earlier, but now this has been totally combined and become the one syllabus here. This has been
Okay.
totally combined and become the one syllabus. So I will show syllabus also. Just wait for a while. All right. But yes,
Okay.
now this is no available. Earlier we have the one exam for the PCNSA and then PCNSE. Now you have to give the. It's going to give the CCNA level of exam. This is CCNP level exam. Now you have to give the fundamental exam if you really want to give the fundamental exam, or that is a practitioner, or direct go become next generation firewall engineer. That I'm going to cover here. Okay, guys. All right. So let's move further.
Okay.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था। हेलो।
Yes, मनोज बताइए।
हाँ, जैसे हम लोग डेटा सेंटर में काम करते हैं तो वहाँ पे 5000 सीरीज की फायरवॉल लगी हुई है, तो 2000 4000 और 5000 में कुछ ज्यादा डिफरेंस है क्या कुछ सीखने के अंदर से, या
नहीं नहीं,
हमारे
हार्डवेयर डिफरेंस है, और नहीं हार्डवेयर डिफरेंस है, हार्डवेयर डिफरेंस है।
बस खाली, बाकी तो अंदर सब कुछ सेम ही होगा?
हाँ 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 हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। इट इज गोइंग टू बी सेम ओनली, राइट, सेम होगा, बस हार्डवेयर डिफरेंस है सिर्फ। सब कुछ ओएस इज गोइंग टू बी सेम, सो पॉलिसी वैसे ही बनेगा आपका, यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग वैसे ही कन्फिगर होगी, नेट वैसे ही कन्फिगर, कुछ भी चेंज नहीं होगा, सिर्फ आपका चेंज होगा, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी हार्डवेयर। ठीक है, क्लियर?
ओके।
ऑलराइट, सो नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द प्री रिक्विजिट। क्या प्री रिक्विजिट है Palo Alto सीखने के लिए? So if I talk about the prerequisite, we have the no coding, no prior experience required, right? मतलब कोडिंग वोडिंग की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर आपको कोई प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस कोडिंग की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, यहाँ पे आपको जरूरत क्या है? आपको बेसिक नेटवर्क फंडामेंटल, इंटरनेट कैसे चलता है, सीसीएनए क्या होता है, नेटवर्किंग कैसे होती है, सीसीएनपी बैकग्राउंड आपका है, अगर आप आईटी सपोर्ट में काम कर रहे हो, नॉक इंजीनियर हो आप, साइबर सिक्योरिटी अप्रेंटिस जो मैंने बताया था अभी आपको पॉलो अल्टो में, वो भी आपने कर रखा है, एंड या सिस्टम क्लाउड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर आप हो, एनीवन लुकिंग टू स्विच इन नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी, कोई दूसरे रोल में आप हो जहाँ पे आपको बेसिक नेटवर्किंग आती है, कुछ भी यहाँ से आता हो, जैसे सीसीएनए आई वुड से कि दैट इज अ मैंडेटरी। अगर नेटवर्क फंडामेंटल आपको नहीं आता है तो मैं साफ मना कर दूंगा कि आप मत पढ़ो फायरवॉल, क्योंकि मेरे लिए मतलब वो यूजलेस होगा आपका पैसा, कंपनी के लिए यूजलेस होगा आपका पैसा, क्योंकि आप पैसा भी दोगे, आप पढ़ाई भी करोगे, और उसमें आप ज़्यादा कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर पाओगे, क्योंकि आपको चीज़ें समझ नहीं आएगी। तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप हमारा सीसीएनए का कोर्स कर लो, ठीक है, हमारे जो बैचेस चल रहे हैं उसको कर लो, पहले सीसीएनए करो अच्छे से। सीसीएनए आपका एक बैकबोन है। देखो आपको, इफ यू हैव टू बिल्ड द योर होम, राइट, यू वांट टू बिल्ड योर हाउस, यू हैव टू मस्ट बिल्ड योर गुड फाउंडेशंस। अगर वो फाउंडेशंस नहीं है ना, सो यू कैन नॉट बिल्ड योर गुड हाउस। तो अगर इफ यू वांट टू बिकम अ गुड पॉलो ऑल्टो इंजीनियर, इफ यू वांट टू मेक द गुड करियर इन द पॉलो ऑल्टो और फोर्टिगेट और सिक्योरिटी डोमेन, you must have the good CCNA level of knowledge. Trust me, even you want to become the good cloud engineer, cloud security engineer, कुछ भी आप करना चाहो, anything you want to do that, you must have the good CCNP level of knowledge. At least CCNA level of knowledge is going to require. So my take is, being you engineer, if you want to become a firewall engineer, you have the networking fundamental, at least you know how to configure the VLANs, how to configure static route, and how to configure at least OSPF level of the configuration. You can learn within 5 to 7 days. If you want to do the crash course, that also we offering. If you have any challenges, you can just set up the call with our counselors. We also provide the crash course where we can cover dedicated mentorship for you, where you're going to get entire depth knowledge of the prerequisite of this particular curriculum. All right, this is going to prerequisite. So I hope you guys all have this understanding. And then what we learn in this Palo Alto Firewall, that we have to discuss. Okay, so if I talk about what we learn in the Palo Alto Firewall, so we'll start with a single pass architecture. That is a very important thing in the Palo Alto Firewall. What is the SP3 architectures? What is the flow logic? Means it is going to tell how the firewall is going to behave, and based on that behave means how the software is going to operate once it is going to receive the packet, and what is the packet flow is going to happen in the your Palo Alto Firewall. That thing you are going to get. So that is the first module you are going to cover. After that, if you are going to move in the second module, you are going to understand how to configure the Palo Alto Firewall, and I will show you the live on the two method. One is the virtual method. I will give the means VM firewall if available, how to configure. One I will show you the physical firewall. Means I have the physical firewalls available. You can see this is my one of the FortiGate firewall available in front of me. So generally I do for the FortiGate firewall also, and I have the very big firewall available. How can I just show you? Let me try to show you the firewall. So I will show during the sessions how to configure the physical firewall also. So we are going to get all live scenarios. See, this is the Palo Alto Firewall 820. So together we'll see how to take a console and how to configure this Palo Alto firewalls. And I will build the HA also, because in front of me I have another firewall router also available. So we'll learn live how to take the GUI access, CLI access with this particular firewalls, and how to configure. It's a quite big firewall, and we just use for the class purpose, and we demonstrate during the live sessions how basically we can do the configuration of these firewalls. So you can see in this we will understand initial configuration of the system, configuration management, licensing, software update, and account administrator. This is the second module you are going to cover during this particular sessions. Okay, so you are going to get combo understanding that is going to be very unique, and nobody is offering in the market. I can say on camera, on record, no one have this kind of the features who can do everything on fly, real time, the firewall system and configurations, where you can get the console connectivity, how the console is going to happen. Even for me, I have the console cables available. So I will show you everything, like how the console is going to be taken, how the firewall is going to configure, how the console cable is going to work, and we'll see when I connect the physical firewall, how the prompt is going to come. So you're going to get real time, step by step, means you are the beginner but you learn from the zero. Any brand new firewall, if you want to configure, what is the step by step process is going to happen. So that kind of the quality you are going to get, at least from my side. Okay, the next one is hold on, why it's not working. We will understand how basically do the interface level of configuration, means security zone, what is security zone, how the layer 2, layer 3 virtual wire interface is going to configure, how the tap mode is going to happen, what is the sub interfaces, what is the DSCP, what is the virtual routers, what is the key concept and how it is going to use in the our firewalls. These all also we're going to get. And if I move next, we have the further security policy configurations, means this is the very important. You have to configure the security policy, how the policy is going to configure based on the layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7, URL, right, app, right, device, AD, etc, and last is your data, payload. See, so these all is going to cover in the your security policy, and you are going to get everything here. And I will show you everything in very detail, so you're going to get very good concept. And then how we can do the policy administrator, means what is the sequence of the policy, how ACL was working earlier and how the policy is going to work now. And the most important, and 99% when you're going for the interview, NAT is going to be asked. What is the source NAT, what is the destination NAT, what is the U-turn NAT, and what is the dual NAT. These also all concept you should know that. Okay, so if you really want to become champion of the firewall, this module and previous module, means every module is important, but interview point of view, they are going to ask what is the vWire, what is the tap mode, what is the virtual router, what is the layer 2, layer 3, what is the security zone. These are the key questions. 70-60% question are going to ask from these two modules. Now we'll understand the next generation firewall feature. What is the application ID? Means applications, we have lot of applications, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, Meta, lot of applications we have. So based on the application group, based on the application filter, how we can apply the policies, how the group is going to help to make organization a group a lot of policy, and based on that we can apply the filtering, and how the filters are going to be applied for dynamic application filtering. Okay, so these also we are going to get. And then the content, see, I will show live, exact live how virus is going to block with the Palo Alto Firewall. How spying activity, even I will create the signature for the spying, and I will show you even a spying is going to be happen in the Palo Alto Firewall, how it is. You guys also can do in your lab, because everything I will show, and you can do that. Vulnerability, live vulnerability attack I will do from the Kali Linux machine. We have the Kali Linux machine, so I will do the live vulnerability where you are going to get how this vulnerability attack is going to happen, how this URL filtering is going to happen for the any URL you want to filter, how you can do the data filtering. That is the same examples. Let's suppose you have the 1000-page PDF file, and I want to say any file, any word is written like ABC or Mr. Pankaj, capital small, yeah, confidentiality, or any kind of the name, any kind of the word, any kind of the letter, I can filter those file. Firewall is going to read line by line all the data, and if any word is going to match, it is going to block. Make sense, everyone? So this is the power of this Palo Alto Firewall, and that is DOS protections. This DOS protection is going to be also very important. Means if you really want to protect DOS is not going to compromise your system, not going to be infect your system, not going to ask money by doing the ransomware attack. No, it's not going to do that. What it is going to do that? Let's suppose this is your firewall or this is a router. Anyone sending on the internet, right? They will send a lot of traffic to you on the WAN interface. Your entire bandwidth is going to be chalked. Means you are going to fully utilize, you cannot do any legitimate communications. So indirectly you are going to be down, but your system are completely up, no compromise, but they will make the downtime of the business. Let's suppose you are in the shopping mall and you are trying to do some grocery shopping, and suddenly billing is stopped. Why? Because bill is not able to process. My bandwidth is 100% utilized. So you can think about how many people are going to be impacted. You are going to be in any mart, any kind of the shopping mall, anywhere, even in a restaurant, bill is not happening, so you cannot order the food and all. So that's the power of the DOS. So you have to make sure your DOS protection is also going to be happen. Clear? And that file blocking, any file type you want to block, PDF, like you want to block any kind of the file like Word file, Excel file, zip file, exe file, rar file, anything you can block it. Wildfire, that's a very good feature. That is used for the zero-day attack. This is the very unique feature, zero-day attack. Means any attack which do not have the signature available in the Palo Alto Firewall, even you want to block that, that is also possible. and that is going to happen with the zero attack of this wildfire. Makes sense, guys? So if you want to really become a champion of the Palo Alto Firewall, these next generation feature you have to know, and that all I'm going to cover in during my lectures. And the same thing that we're going to understand what is your decryption, advanced level thing. Layer 3, layer 4 engineer must know these all concept. Layer 2 might be not know, but layer 1 engineer, level 1 engineer can ignore it. But you are in the level 3, level 4, you are just expecting 30-40 lakh package, and you don't have this knowledge. What is decryption, how decryption going to work, why decryption is going to important, what is SSL decryption handshake process, then probably you're not going to crack. Sorry. So if you're really passionate to know about it, you must have to be champion about the decryption module from scratch. Why decryption is important? That's the first question. If decryption is not available, what problem is going to happen? If decryption you're going to apply, how decryption is going to decrypt your traffic? And if it is going to decrypt your traffic, what kind of the policy is going to enforce? What problem is going to be happen? Okay, how you can do the certificate management? What is the root CA? Right? Who is going to issue my certificate? How my certificate is going to be handshake between the devices? You can see how my key is going to be generated, how my firewall is going to act as a proxy. Those things you have to understand, and I will take care of these things, so you are going to be not fail of any higher level of the interview, and you can easily crack the layer 3, layer 4 interview as well. And then further AD integration, I will do real AD integrations, means real time how the AD is going to be integrated. Means we have the Active Directory AD, and that AD is going to be integrated with the Palo Alto Firewall, and based on the AD we'll create the policy. So we'll do the enumerating users creations, we do the mapping users to the IP address, and then we'll see how the IP agents all are going to come in the policy, and based on that user we are going to see how we can apply the policy. That is also feature. And then you are going to learn the global protect and IPsec tunnel. Most of the engineer always stuck in this IPsec fundamental, because they don't know what is the phase 1 issue, what is the phase 2 issue, how my tunnel is going to be become a green, how my tunnel traffic carry going to happen. So phase 1, phase 2, what is the message type, what is the main mode, what is the aggressive mode, what is the quick mode in my IPsec. In main mode, if I'm going to do the phase 1 negotiations, how many packets are going to be exchanged? If I'm going to do the aggressive mode, how many packets are going to be exchanged? If I'm going in the quick mode in the phase 2 IPsec tunnel, then how the packet flow is going to happen? What is the IKey version 1? What is the IKey version 2? If you don't know these all questions, you must have to come and learn these things with me. So this IPsec is going to be first half is going to be complete theory, because the question I ask, you must have to get those answers. If you don't have the answer, you cannot crack the interview. And then you have to see how my tunnel configuration is going to happen, how phase 1 configuration is going to happen, how phase 2 configuration is going to happen, and how the negotiation of the parameter is going to, how the encryption is going to build, how the confidentiality is going to build, how the PSK means peer authentication is going to happen, how the reply direction is going to happen, and based on that, how my actual encryption decryption Palo Alto Firewall is going to do that. So these all things, guys, I will try, and I'll make sure you guys going to be get those right answers. Santosh is asking what is the packet flow in the definitely Santosh. So we'll cover these all. Packet flow is the very first module. I'll explain. See where it is. This is the flow logic. So we'll cover this packet flow entirely. I will show step by step what is the slow path, what is the fast path, what is the ingress stage, what is the egress stage, what is the content stage, what is the means application stage. Entire flow I will explain on the board, so you are going to get in very detailed understanding. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I will go and talk about what I was talking. Yes, AD tunnel. Global protect also for remote access VPN, how integrate the globals. I will show everything on the live, and you're going to get configuration understanding. Then we'll see how the basic dashboard reporting, Panorama. Panorama is also very good concept. So you are going to get the Panorama understanding. I will try to create the pre-rule, post-rule, how to integrate the Palo Alto Firewall with the Panorama, what is the prerequisite, how to make the underlay reachability with the Panorama to Palo Alto Firewall, how kind of license is going to require. Those things I will talk, okay? So you don't going to be fail in the Panorama questions, because Panorama is going to act as centralized management. So those things I'm going to give things theoretically and practically. And then you're going to get configurations of the HA. Means if you have the two firewalls, how you can build the HA. And if you are building the HA, what is the prerequisite to build the HA? And how HA is going to carry your traffic. There is two mode, active, passive. Means one firewall is going to act as an active, one is going to act as a passive. And one other scenario, we have the both active, active. Then how it is going to work and what is the configuration of these two things is going to happen. So both we are going to cover, and I will make sure you guys going to understand these all things as well. Okay, so is it clear course content? I will discuss the cloud strata cloud manager as well. I will discuss some basic concept of the SD-WAN, so you're going to get that understanding that as well. And also I will talk about the AI and automations, because that is the prerequisite nowadays for every course. So I keep giving the gyan on that also. So you guys going to get some understanding. Now any questions guys, anyone have till now? Please ask, because I'm in the last section of the discussion. So probably if you have any questions, please let me know, else I'll proceed. So I'm considering no questions. Let me go ahead. Yeah, you Manoj, you have any questions?
सर इसमें क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशन भी आएगा?
क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशंस, देखो बेसिकली क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशन क्या होता है कि क्लाउड के साथ कैसे टनल बनाना है, जैसे जीआरई बनाना है टनल आपको, जैसे जी स्कलर के साथ, तो वो आईपी से एक जीआरई टनल कैसे बनती है वो पता होगा। क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशन यही होता है कि भाई क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी आपको देना है तो जीआरई टनल कैसे बनती है, आईपी से टनल कैसे बनती है। दूसरा क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशन होता है कि आपको क्लाउड के अंदर पालो अल्टो फायरवॉल डिप्लॉय करना है, तो उसका प्रोसेस क्या होता है। तो अगर किसी के पास क्लाउड का अकाउंट है, राइट, माई अकाउंट हैज बीन फुल्ली ऑक्युपाइड, सो आई विल शो यू द डेमोस्ट्रेशन, या फिर मैं आपको एक मेरे ही क्रिएट किया हुआ एक कंटेंट जो वीडियो मैंने रिकॉर्ड करके रखा है, कैसे अपलोड करते हैं क्या करते हैं वो मैं दे दूंगा आपको, देख सकते हो। बस कॉन्सेप्ट इज गोइंग टू सेम, आपको क्लाउड में इंटीग्रेट करने के लिए वो क्लाउड आना चाहिए। अब ऐसे आप क्लाउड में फायरवॉल इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर सकते हो, लेकिन अगर आप फायरवॉल इंजीनियर हो तो आपको क्लाउड में इंटीग्रेट करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है। यू जस्ट हैव टू बी मेक श्योर कि कैसे फायरवॉल पे काम करना है एंड हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू बी ऑपरेट। बाकी द डिप्लॉयमेंट इंजीनियर इज गोइंग टू डू द क्लाउड इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ द Palo Alto firewalls. Yes, Ahmed, you have any questions?
Sir, will we cover the routing as well on this Palo Alto
Yes,
firewall? And also, will
that
we
is
cover
going to
the
cover. That's going
DMVPN?
to, yes, that's going. I'm going to cover. That's not mentioned here because when I talk about the HA, that is going to cover the routing as well. But I will ask them to update that.
Okay, sir.
So note it. We are going to cover BGP. We are going
Okay.
to cover OSPF, right? We are going to cover RIP. RIP is not used and static routing. Okay, and also we are going to do all redistributions.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, it's not mentioned, it's team fault. Okay, but I can say on record that all is going to be covered.
And sir, will we cover the DMVPN?
DMVPN is not part of this Palo Alto firewall. No? DMVPN is Cisco concept that's come in the NRC syllabus, Ahmed. If you're going to learn the CCNP NRC, DMVPN you learn here.
Okay.
And Palo Alto not support DMVPN. They support
Okay,
the
sir.
site
Thank you,
security and grow product only. DMVPN is a core Cisco solutions. Okay, clear? All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So let's talk about, I was talking about learning flow. How is the learning flow is going to happen? So definitely, if you're really interested for this course, you like the course, you like my expertise, there is no force. You can reach out to team. There is a email, there is a number you can find in the board as well, right? Probably you're able to see this number you're going to hear. You can just drop your message. You can just register, choose like learning. Definitely I'll be your instructor and we'll just do the all learning, practical, everything, and then you're going to be certified. And career path after completion of this particular course, definitely you can apply for these roles. You can become the network security engineer, you can become the firewall administrator, you can become the SOC analyst, you can become the cyber security engineer, and salary is going to start initially going to be, if you are the level 1 and level 2 I'm talking about, right, you can easily get in India this much salary easily. This is the very lowest package I'm talking about it. I'm not going to make a very higher dream, but if you're just 3 to 5 year experience or 2 to 5 year of experience and you have the 3 to 4 LPA package, right, or even the 5 LPA package, you can easily get this number easily. That means the cake walk for you. Trust me, you apply and you show your skills, you'll get this CTC. If you have already 10 plus year experience, right, 15 plus year experience, and you are already sitting on the 15 LPA because you are the good network engineer, you know routing, switching, you know SD-WAN, and you want to apply, right? You can easily get 20 LPA, 30 LPA, 40 LPA, even 50 LPA in the market. Very easy. Depend what is your current CTC. Any questions? Ahmed, raise your hand. Still, you raise your hand. If you have any questions, let me lower down your hand. Okay, thank you.
No, sir.
Yeah, so this is in global market. This is again very list salary I'm talking. Very list, because I just capture the lower one, not higher side. You can gauge easily 60K to 100K USD on the level 1, level 2 entry level roles. And certificate and global recognition is going to happen. Any kind of the company it is going to recognize. So these are the roles available. You can apply for that. And why you should learn with a GUINET, right? What are we are going to offer? So definitely I'll be an instructor. Already I have the industry expertise, which probably you can ask the questions. Definitely I'll try my best to answer. And might be you've seen me while delivering not only Palo Alto. I'm the FortiGate instructor, I'm the G-Squared instructor, I'm the Prisma Access instructor, SD-WAN instructor, CCI instructor, CCNP instructor. So basically I basically train a lot of people in across the globe. Not only trainings, training is like kind of my hobby, but real project deployment, because I work for the MNCs, I work for the clients across the globe. So I know how network can be built, how data center can be built, what model of firewall is going to use. So if any questions you have, you can ask anytime with me. I'll try my best to get those answers. I'll try to give the answer. The lab is going to be 24/7 live, plus recording is going to be lifetime access. Means lab is going to 2 month access for everyone. Once you enroll and once you start the learning, the moment you apply for the lab, for the support team, you just have to reach out this number, or you can write the email. Support team will give to issue your lab credential unique for you. Okay, that is going to valid for 2 months, because this course is going to finish within the 2 months. So you can do all practice. If you want to extend the lab, you have to just reach out to your counselors, support team. They will ask for the very minimum fee for the renewals. We are charging one of the lowest fee in the industry for the lab rentals. If you go for any other company, they are going to charge a lot, and also they are going to give the slot based labs, like 4 hour slots, 6 hour slots, like that in daily basis. But we are offering 24/7. Means you can think about how much resources is going to be utilized, air conditions, manpower, everything is going to be always in our labs. So that is going to be help, right? And live live and recorded session is going to be, means whatever recording session is going to be lifetime. So you are going to get lifetime recording, career support, job guidance, and certification supports if you have anything, that also going to cover from our side. And I believe that's all. And I wish you very all the best, and I hope you guys are going to part of the upcoming sessions. And please feel free to ask any question if you have any doubt how it is going to be happen this session in the future. Yes, Siraj, go ahead, please ask a question.
Yeah, hi Pankaj. So, will the lab be licensed?
Yes, so every lab, whatever we're going to do, that we have the two versions, basically three versions. One is the 9.0.0, 10.0.0 means, and we have the 11.0.0. Three versions are available. Everything you can do on these firewalls, means whatever you want to do, that means if there is no license, you cannot find the logs on the firewalls, you cannot do the filtering and the firewalls. So we are going to give the set of the lab where you can do the all testing, which can basically done on the license firewall. So we have the proper license one firewalls which is going to be available in the lab, and you can do all testing. Still, if you require any customized testing, I can give you the firewalls on the real of the GUINET where we are running the productions. You can do the testing on that as well. But yes, every feature is going to be tested. None of the feature you cannot say when you start the class this feature is not going to work. No, if you want to test file blocking, it is going to be done. You want to do the URL filtering, it is going to be done. You want to do any kind of vulnerability attack, it is going to be done. REST routing switching, you can do 90% thing on this as well, 90 even 95% things. But 5% thing you require the license, either it's the expired license or might be the active license, then only you can do that. So it is going to be available, don't worry about that. All right, Siraj,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Any other questions, guys? All right, so I believe we are good for today. If no questions, I believe.
I have one question.
Yes,
What about
Bhatai.
the Panorama lab? Will have the access for the Panorama also?
See, Panorama is having a challenge. That's one thing. Let me clarify. Panorama is something. Panorama, if you're going to purchase a license, Panorama, that is a huge cost. So you all are going to get the Panorama, but you cannot only onboard the firewalls, right? Rest everything you can do that, but the firewall onboarding is not possible because that's required the high license. That's why in the lab, in course content is mentioned that Panorama good concept you're going to get means how to onboard the firewalls. I will explain how to add the firewall, how to build the underlaid firewall, the concept pre-rule, post-rule, device group, policy group, shared, everything. I'll explain. The only problem is going to happen if you want to onboard firewall in the Panorama, you require the license. So I will try. If you guys are really interested, I will take cloud-based rental for you all, and I will try to cover that also. If you're really interested, if you have the interested requirement, or we can do another thing. Generally, I session what I do. Generally, generally what happen, any of you have the Panorama access, right? So we cannot record the session, but yes, we can do the live Panorama. If anyone can share that screen, I will explain from your company point of view how the configuration is there and how it is going to be create a policy and all. So live setup you're going to do that like in your production environment, but we no make any changes. In our lab you can do everything, pre-rule, post-rule, NAT, how it is going to happen. That's the most important, and other template creation, policy group creation, that we will cover that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
So how the batches are running, sir? Is there any weekend batch?
We have the both batches, weekend and weekdays, both batches running. So you just reach out to counselor. If you have the preference for the weekend, you can just reach out to counselor. I'll be the instructor. I'll cover on the weekends as well. Weekdays, this is going to be 9:30 batch, Monday to Friday, 1 hour batch. So basically we'll do 4 days in a week, or might be sometime 5 days in a week. But yes, this is the Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 10:30. The same time you are going to cover. But if you are
What
really
about-
looking at the weekend also we have the batch. You can just reach out to counselor. They will just inform about you.
Okay.
Sir,
Alright.
I have a question.
Yes, please, Arjun.
Sir, I have 2 years of experience as a cybersecurity SOC analyst.
Mm-hmm.
I have expertise on Splunk Enterprise Security and CrowdStrike EDR.
Mm-hmm.
And currently I'm working for the government agency as a digital forensic.
Mm-hmm.
So मुझे ये जानना था कि does this course better for me or not?
डेफिनेटली देखो, आप अर्जुन कहीं भी आप जा रहे हो, आप कहीं भी सिक्योरिटी से आप इंटीग्रेटेड हो ना, तो आपको फायरवॉल आना ही चाहिए। इवन आप सिक्योरिटी का ऑडिट भी कर रहे हो या साइबर से सिक्योरिटी कंप्लाइंस भी देख रहे हो या किसी भी अथॉरिटी में है, तो द एंड द पैकेट इज गोइंग टू प्रोसेस बाय द फायरवॉल्स। या फिर आपका अगर फायरवॉल नहीं है तो साइसी सॉल्यूशंस है, उसके अंदर फायरवॉल के मॉड्यूल्स हैं। So if you are going to learn the firewalls, you have the very good pictures. You can visualize actually how packet is coming, what can be possibility. बट अगर आपको ये आइडिया नहीं है कि प्रोडक्ट कैसे काम करता है, तो आप कितना भी हाथ पर मार लो, इट इज गोइंग टू बी प्रॉब्लमेटिक फॉर यू। सो माई टेक अवे कि अगर आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी में आपको इंटरेस्ट है, सिक्योरिटी में इंटरेस्ट है, नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में इंटरेस्ट है, या क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी में इंटरेस्ट है, देखो फायरवॉल तो हर किसी को आना चाहिए। इट्स अ मैंडेटरी स्किल नाउ अडे। इट्स अ मैंडेटरी स्किल, जैसे एआई मैंडेटरी स्किल है ना। अगर कोई बोलता है कि मैं नेटवर्क करता हूँ एंड आई वांट टू जस्ट सर्वाइव ऑन द नेटवर्क ओनली, तो अभी उनके लिए तो बहुत मुश्किल है। यू कैन नॉट सर्वाइव। आपको नेटवर्क में SD-WAN सीखना ही सीखना है, आपको फायरवॉल सीखना है, क्योंकि हर कंपनी इज गोइंग फॉर द कॉस्ट कटिंग। देखो AI आने की वजह से ना, जिसको नहीं भी आता काम करने वो भी काम कर ले रहा है। सो अगर आपको रियली नॉट इंटरेस्ट, राइट, सिक्योरिटी में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, डेटा सेंटर लर्निंग में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, आपको SD-WAN में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, तो लॉन्ग रन में आपकी जॉब जो है ना बहुत ज़्यादा खतरे में है। तो आई वुड से कि फायरवॉल सीखो, इट्स मैंडेटरी स्किल्स, इट्स अ मैंडेटरी स्किल। अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग बिकॉज इट्स अ मैंडेटरी। तो आप लोगों को फायरवॉल सीखना चाहिए, कोई भी फायरवॉल सीखो, या आप गोइनेट से सीखो, कहीं और से सीखो, सेल्फ लर्निंग करो, इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी, लेकिन आपको फायरवॉल का फंडामेंटल आना चाहिए। पॉलिसी कैसे काम करती है, कंटेंट आईडी कैसे काम करता है, यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग कैसे काम करती है। तो अर्जुन आई विल से इट्स अ मैंडेटरी, राइट?
Okay, sir, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? We are good.
So Vishal sir, can you share the path details? So where the record session will be there?
Sorry, I didn't get Ayyappan.
The recording session path detail.
Yes, recording session team is going to share, right? And that is going to be LMS portal. And based on that LMS portal, you can just get all recordings. So it is going to be shared. Don't worry, Ayyappan.
Okay, we cannot able to download. So earlier we can.
No, you cannot due to security reason, company compliance, because people are earlier we giving the download video and all, but people are start using the misusing, right? Some people will start even selling on behalf of the GUINET. That is the problem, na? Not every people like same. So that's getting a lot of issue for us. So the company make the policy. We have the proper website and LMS portals, and you guys can go and download your mobile apps, download your Android or iOS. Both apps are available, and you can watch video on the mobile, and you can also watch on the websites as well. So that's all flexible opportunity available, and that video is going to be lifetime, but only you cannot download. All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, great night. See you again.